Hello, my name is Aiden Sun. I'm from California, and I will be representing Palo Alto High School. My presentation will be split into two parts: my experience with Project Green Challenge and my CAP project. But before I start, I wanted to quickly thank the Turning Green team for putting together something so special. I've had a wonderful time spending time learning from and being inspired by all the mentors, ambassadors, speakers, interns, and finalists. It's been a wonderful ride. Thank you so much. And it's truly a dream come true to be on this podium right now here today. I initially began Project Green Challenge because I wanted to learn a thing or two about the environment. But turns out I learned so much more. I learned how to become more environmentally conscious. I increased my physical and mental well-being, and I became more in tune with the environment. However, what surprised me most was the biggest change. Before Project Green Challenge, Before Project Green Challenge, I didn't believe that I could have much of an impact. I thought that real meaningful change could only come from the governmental level. However, Project Green, and why else wouldn't I? I was just one teenager amongst a sea of other millions of similar individuals. But Project Green Challenge forced me out of my comfort zone. They made me spread awareness on social media, enact real change, and contact government officials. And some of them even responded. I think when I got the first response from a government official was the moment I realized, wow, I could really have a real change. And that veered away from the mentality that I used to have. And yeah, here's the main takeaways that I just talked about. And because a quick aside, here are some of my favorite challenges. Here's when I made tote bags out of old shirts. Here's when I made an art piece about a rainbow serpent. And here's a couple more: making my own dry shampoo, pitching my own business idea. And the things that aren't pictured here are like making my own video game, writing my own poems, and my climate action project, which is a nice segue into that. However, before I get into that, I want to talk about my issue that I'm tackling, which is food waste. 120 billion pounds. That's the amount of food wasted in the US per year. That's $408 billion, 130 billion meals. And to put that into perspective, 40% of all food in the US is wasted. And 40% of that 40% is from the consumer level. And this food doesn't just disappear. It goes into landfills where it festers, and through anaerobic respiration becomes methane. 6 to 8% of all greenhouse gases come from this. So what's the solution? Wait, not yet. If you can see here, the amount of food waste in landfills is 21%, and 50% is actually compostable. So I decided to make my climate action project about composting. Now, I've had previous experience with composting before. Earlier this year, for my Eagle project, I made 3 vermicomposting bins from scratch and donated it to a middle school. On the right, you'll see a little prototype, a blueprint of a non-vermicomposting bin. And on the next slide here, you'll see one for a vermicomposting bin. I've also attended the City of Palo Alto's composting workshops and took Coursera courses over the summer on sustainable farming practices. Well, my first goal is increasing access to compost by setting up compost bins or green bins in at least 3 different locations. And my second goal is community education with after-school programs or workshops. And the benefits would be waste reduction and, providing free and healthy soil, but more importantly, inspiring and empowering the youth of today and helping them find their passions. Children are the future, and the earlier we introduce them to the concepts, the more conscious they will become. And here are my basic steps: assemble, proposal, collaborate, and follow through. For my first step, I need to assemble a group of like-minded individuals to help me with my goal. To do this, I can use social circles such as my school's eco club or gardening club, and perhaps I can find a way to get service hours involved for motivation. Second step is proposal. At first, I would focus on setting up a vermicomposting bin at my own high school, and then I would expand to others, places like schools, campuses, community gardens, churches, and underserved communities. With my team, I'd craft an in-depth proposal with detailed drawings, timelines, campus logics, and benefits, and then send a bunch of these proposals out to all these different communities. Hopefully, we'll get a few responses back. And once that happens, we'll communicate with beneficiaries to see what they want, because it's very case by case, and what they don't want. For example, if they have a community garden in the school, then obviously a vermicomposting bin would be ideal. But if they don't, then we can use green bins and send them to composting centers. We'd also handle logistics at this stage, where we would divvy up work within the team, figure out who's going to maintain the bins, whether it be a student or a faculty member, and in what way the bins will be used. Also, another part of my proposal, education. The same steps as before, but this time it's targeted towards after-school programs. We're creating our own after-school programs, or it's targeted to maybe homeschool kids. We'll do an in-depth proposal with curriculum, study aids, worksheets, etc. First, we'll try it with a smaller group, see how that goes, take notes, maybe 4th to 5th grade, and see how we can edit then. I could also host some composting workshops about how to make composting bins at a local library. We can see about that. Step 3 and 4, collaborate and follow through, pretty self-explanatory. I think I've went over that in the previous slides, so we'll go to funding and future impact. For funding, I plan to apply to a bunch of local level grants to get the ball rolling and hopefully open the door for more funding. And for future impact, I want this thing to, as a team or organization, to continue after April, well after I graduate. And to do this, I want to make sure that the program itself is sustainable, that I record my previous plans, my previous mistakes, and yeah, to make sure that people in the future can follow the same guidelines and hopefully keep it going. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. This project is very exciting and thrilling for me, and it's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much.